Hello students, I welcome you all once again in an online class of English. Today is lecture number 8. I hope you're doing great. Let's get started. Okay, as you all know that I used to discuss the learning outcomes first before I start the online lecture. So today's all learning outcomes are we will discuss big question of year number 3. That means we're going to start with number 3 today. Then we'll be discussing get ready words as well. And in the grammar part, we'll be discussing can, use of can and could in today's online class. And the reference book pages are on page number 26, 27, 28, and 33 of your student book. So get your student book ready, get your pencil, razors, and sharpener ready so we could start the work. Okay, students, come to page number 26 and 27 of your student book, as you can see on my slide as well. And there's a big question, and it says, why do people move to new places? Of course, yes, there are a lot of reasons that people move from one place to another. Sometimes your parents' job is a reason that you move to a new place. Sometimes you want to live um, in a better place. That's the reason you're moving from one place to another. Sometimes sometimes like you're living in a rental house and your father and mother has constructed a new house for you, and that could be the reason as well from moving from one place to another. And like there are a lot of reasons when people move from one place to another. Now the question arises, does it change their lifestyle when they move? Yes, it does. Like I'll give you a small example. If you are moving around, like for example, if we talk about the people who used to live in DHA and Bheda town, the people who used to live in Islamabad, of course the lifestyle change not too much, but slightly it does change, yes, because the exposure when you live in Islamabad, the exposure you get, and there are a lot of things that does change when you move from one place to another. But if we talk about like if you're living in Pakistan and you're moving to some other place like in the Western country like America, Canada, or Australia, or like in some other Western country, it it makes a big change in your lifestyle, because in Pakistan your lifestyle would be totally different, but when we go to the Western country your lifestyle would be totally different. So when this question arises, does it change the lifestyle? So yes, it does change the lifestyle when we move from one place to another. And the next is like, what do you want to know about moving, and what do you know about moving? Yes, there are a lot of things you already know about moving, and there are a lot of things you want to know about moving. So we'll be discussing these things one by one when we'll go through with the get ready words, and then we'll discuss these things in detail in our next work. Okay, students, now come to page number 28 of your student book. Get your pencil ready. Write down class book, day and date at the top of the page. And these are the get ready words, as you can see on my slide as well. Listen and read the words, listen again and say the words. So you will say these words after me, okay? Packing, moving, meeting neighbors, shopping, ice skating, fishing, raking leaves, dancing, throwing snowballs, and sledding. Okay, students, let's discuss these words one by one and then we'll move on to the B part. Okay, the first word is packing. It's very simple. As you can see in the picture, a man is packing something in the boxes, and it shows that he's moving from one place to another. That's why he's packing. Second picture is about moving. Moving means once you have packed everything, then you start to move. And as you can see in the picture, they start moving because they have packed everything. Third one is meeting neighbors. Of course, when you move on to the new place and when you go to the new place, you get to meet with your neighbors, because if you do not know about your neighbors, so you used to meet with your neighbors. Next is shopping. It's very simple. As you can see, when you move on to the new place, then you start your shopping as well, and you start your grocery stuff as well, so you could stuff those things in your home. Whenever you need it, then you use it. Next is ice skating. What do you think? What is ice skating? Yes, it's basically a verb because it shows an action, and it means when you are moving on ice. Okay, when you move on an ice using special boats called skates, which have sharp pieces of metal on the bottom. That's what ice skating is. Next one is fishing. As you can see in the picture, the boy is fishing in the water. Next one is raking leaves. Yes, again it's a bit tricky word, raking leaves. It means when you move your leaves using a special tool with a long handle. And you can see in the picture that man is raking leaves using a tool which has a big handle. Next one is dancing. As you can see, the girl is dancing in the picture, throwing snowballs. Yes, there's a boy in the picture, and he used to make snowballs, and he used to throw snowballs on others. And the last one is sledding. What does it mean, sledding? What do you think? Yes? Does anybody know what does it mean, sledding? Yes, it's a verb again because sledding is an action. It means moving over snow in a small vehicle. When you're moving on a snow using a small vehicle, that means sledding. Okay, students, the B part is where do you usually do these activities? The indoors one, the outdoors one, and the both ones. So you have to pick up the words from A, and one by one you have to see where does it fit. Either it comes in indoor ones, it comes in outdoors one, or it comes in both ones. So the first word is packing. Packing is indoors, outdoors, or both? Yes, packing is indoors. Moving. Moving is indoors and outdoors both. So you will write down moving in the both one. Meeting neighbors. Yes, we meet with the neighbors indoors and outdoors both. So we will write down meeting neighbors in the both one. Shopping. What do you think? Yes, indoors. Shoppings are mostly indoors. Ice skating. Outdoors. Fishing. Outdoors. Raking leaves. Outdoors. dancing, both, throwing snowballs, outdoors, and sledding. It's outdoor. Okay, students, as you can see on my slide, so today's grammar part is the use of can and could. So can tells us what someone knows how to do now. That means in the present. When we talk about something in the present, then we use can. And could tells us what someone knew how to do before in the past. So could is used when something is related to the past. So as you can see on my slide, there's a chart here. So can and could is used in various ways. When we talk about the ability of something, when we ask for permission in an informal or a polite way, we use these words. When we request something in a normal or a more polite way, then we use can and could. When we talk about the possibility of this something in the present and in the past, then we use can and could. When we offer to help someone and we give suggestion to somebody, then we use can and could. And we use cannot, can't, or couldn't as well. When something is not allowed in the present or in the past, then we use can't and couldn't as well. So these are the general things, and that's how we use can and could in various ways. So let's talk about the sentences which are given under each possibility. When we talk about the ability in the present, let's say I can speak English, I can write good Urdu, I can speak very well. So that means you're talking about the ability in the present. But when we talk about general ability in the past, we would say I could play the piano when I was younger. Or you can say when I was younger I could read short stories. This is the general ability in the past. Now let's talk about ask for permission in an informal way. So can you see the sentence below? Can I borrow your pen, please? So you're asking a permission in an informal way. But when you talk about something or asking a permission in a more polite way, so that is in the past actually, you would say, could I use your bathroom, please? Understand? So that's how it differs. When it's in present, then we use can, but when it's in past, then we use could. When you request something like can you help me please? Can you give me a pen please? Can you help me please? Can you come with me please? And when you request something in the past, you say, could you pass me the salt, please? Understand? Could you give me this favor, please? When we talk about the possibility, then we say it can get very cold there at night, right? And when we talk about the possibility in the past, then we use could and we use have, and then we use the past participle as well. You don't need to go into the detail of this one, but we'll just go through with this, that how did they write this. What? You could have broken your leg. That means you're talking about some possibility that could happen in the past. In this way, that you will be using could, then you will be using have, and then you will be using past participle, that is broken. So that's how we would be using could in the past. When we offer to help someone, can I carry your bag for you? Can I help you? right? And when we are giving suggestion, we could go to the movies if you like. Okay, this is what you are suggesting somebody, and that is related to the past, and we used could here. Now the last one is cannot, can't. You cannot smoke in this room. You cannot go to the party. You cannot go outside without your parents' permission. You cannot leave your work like this. So there are a lot of sentences come in your mind when we talk about this. And the condition for could is, if we had some oranges, I could make you some fresh juice. That means would be able to. Like in the simplest way, if we say like when they are talking here about the use of could, they say if we had some oranges, I could make you some fresh juice. That means I would be able to make some fresh juice for you if we had some oranges. So that's how could will be used. So this is the difference between can and could. Okay students, as you can see on my slide, come to page number 33 of your student book, and the F part, that is learn grammar about can and could. As I've told you earlier, can tells us what someone knows how to do now in the present, and could tells us what someone knew how to do before in the past. So can is related to now and could is related to then. Below is an exercise for you. Circle the correct word. You have to circle the correct word according to the sentence. Like if they're talking about present, you will circle can and can't. If the sentence is about past, you would circle could and couldn't. So, when I was 5 years old, I dash ride a bike. When I was 5 years old, that means they're talking as that is very much clear that they're talking something in the past. When I was 5 years old, that means you would be using couldn't or could. So if in the sentence could is given, you will circle could. If in the sentence couldn't is given, you would circle couldn't. So when I was 5 years old, I couldn't ride a bike. Okay. Number 2, now I am 8. So now shows in the present, that means you would circle can or can't. And I can ride a bike or I could ride a bike. Yes, I can ride a bike. Number 3, when I was younger, I can catch a ball or I couldn't catch a ball. When I was younger, that means something in the past. So I couldn't catch a ball. Number 4, now I can catch a ball. Yeah, I couldn't catch a ball. Now, that means something which is happening now. So you would say, now I can catch a ball. Okay students, this is the home task for today. At first I decided not to give you a home task, then I realized that we used to have an online class once a week and you have plenty of time to do this work, and I'm sure it wouldn't be difficult for you to do it yourself. So the first one is make 5 sentences each using can and could on your notebook. Don't forget to draw the margin line. You need to write RA date and day, and don't forget to write an index with today's date as well. And do your work in a neat and clean manner, right? Because if you want me to be happy, then your work should be neat and clean. Because it's the first work I think you're doing on your notebook. It should be neat and clean. And you have to do page number 21 and 22 of your workbook as well, as when you will open these pages you would see at the left corner it says what do you know and what do you want to know. That means you have to brainstorm some ideas in your mind and then you have to reproduce it in the form of writing. So I would appreciate if you do this part yourself, okay? But if you need any help from your parents, you can. This is totally up to you, but don't forget to write this part because this is very important. As I used to tell in my every online lecture, if you write if you think and write about these parts, it will definitely improve your vocabulary, it would definitely improve your writing skill as well. That's why I always ask you to fill up this part as well. So that's all for today. Take good care of yourself. Take care of your parents at home, take care of your younger brothers and sisters at home, use sanitizers after every 20 minutes, and keep yourself neat and clean. As you know, cleanliness is half of the faith. And that's all for today. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye. See you then.